Hi there, my name is Toby. Now, life and death is a continuous process, and one leads into the other. Let me try and explain this to you. Really, what this is Taoist Tantra, but that's really ancient philosophy. It's the cycle of life. So let me try and explain this to you. Think about how life is created. The creation of life, what you've got is a male and a female, and they start building up energy. If you think about it, you've got a coil of wire and you've got a magnet, a 1 and a 0, and you poke them together. That is building up electricity. It's building up energy. But it's more than just electricity. You see, the male and the female are enjoying it. They're having a good time. So they're building up feeling, pleasure. That is etheric energy. It's energy building up. Now, this is all levels of energy because they are about to create a new body. A new body is biological material. And really, biological material is always needed. There's no creation of biological material. It just goes through cycles. The cycle of life and death. And really this is called biogenesis. So biogenesis means life continues from life. There's no actual creation moment. So the male and the female are building up energy. Now, ideally, they love each other. They've got a spiritual connection. So they're making true higher love. So they're building up spiritual energy. But they're enjoying it. They're building up etheric energy, chi. And they're building up physical energy, electricity. When the two of them are getting together. But also, in the body, fluid is building up. It's actually moving the blood. The blood moves, we know that. Fluid moves, there's a build-up of fluid. Physical substance. And when the energy builds up, it gets higher and higher and higher and higher. Then suddenly there's an explosion. Boom! And the energy releases. And the fluid releases. So now what you have is impregnation. Fluid releases. There is a transfer of biological material, fluid. So of course the male and female, a circle and a 1, are going at it, penetrating. Then boom, there's a release of energy. Now you've got the sperm is released. But that has got a lot of energy now. You see, it's not over. It's not finished. Now the sperm goes on its journey. And it needs a lot of energy. All that build-up of energy has transferred into the fluid. And the fluid is still moving. This is a transfer of life force energy. It's outside your body. Well, it's inside and outside. Outside the male body, but inside the female body. But nevertheless, it's an autonomous process now. You have released some life force, and it has gone in, and it's now doing something. So the sperm has got to swim. It's vibrating, carried on all that build-up of energy. So the more powerful it is, the more powerful the sperm is, more chance it has. But at the same time, the egg has built up energy. The egg is vibrating. And then, of course, the sperm will meet the egg. And then again, the sperm will penetrate the egg. It's doing it again. The sperm is vibrating, the egg is vibrating, and it slowly goes in. So now we've got a transfer of biological material. And at that point, they've also seen it now. They've filmed this When the sperm meets the egg and penetrates, there is a flash of light. Flash of light, boom! And they've seen it. It's some sort of chemical process releases light. Yeah, but I would say this is etheric energy. Remember, we've got spiritual energy building up, etheric energy, feelings building up, and physical energy, electricity building up. Then it releases, goes in, but it continues. The fluid, the sperm and the egg is vibrating electrically. But they're still enjoying it. It's still pleasure in the sperm and the egg by itself. And then boom, etheric energy, light, spiritual energy, electricity, all happens together. There's another little explosion as the sperm meets the egg, and it goes in. And now life starts to grow. Now here's the thing. This is also death. It's also death. Look at it like this. In the beginning, the male and the female get together and they're making love. They're going at it. Energy is building up, building up, building up. But when it builds up to a certain peak, boom, there's an explosion. The energy releases. It's gone. That is a death. You see, you are losing some energy, but you are sending that energy off to create a new energy, a new life. And they call it that. Sometimes they call ejaculation the little death. But it's both on the male and the female. It's a build-up of energy. When the energy releases, oh, now you're exhausted. Oh, you've gone back. Oh, I want to go to sleep. Because you've lost energy. Now, but it's worthwhile because you're creating a new one. Now, of course, in real life, we're doing this all the time and not creating new life. So that energy is just wasted away. The idea of the Taoist Tantra, or the conservation of life, is what I'm calling it, is instead of releasing that energy, you circulate it inside your body. See, the Taoists believe that you're born with a certain amount of this energy, and if you release it and release it, eventually it runs out and then you die. It's a little death, a little death, a little death, a little death, and then a big death. Now, it's a bit different for male and female. See, male will lose the energy in the ejaculation. The females don't at that time, so females can go on and on and on. But they lose the energy in menstruation. Slightly different. So in a way, that's harder to control, but it happens less often. Now, in the Taoist practice, the females, they have to conserve, they have to stop menstruation. So they do that through the internal exercises. And the males have to control ejaculation. Because you conserve the fluid, but you have to know how to circulate it inside the body, round and round. Then you live longer. You preserve your life. What you are doing is harnessing the cycle of life and death. You build up energy, but you don't waste it. You circulate it around and around. That's the idea of a monk and a nun. The real idea of that was to conserve your hormonal energy, the fluid, physical energy. You don't waste it. You're celibate. But you're supposed to do internal meditation to use that energy and circulate it in your body so that you live longer. And again, remember, it is death. Because not only at the point of making love, there's an explosion, boom, you lost the energy. But then the sperm swims to the egg. Millions and millions of sperm will die. They're wasted. But one will make it, only one. But when the sperm penetrates, goes in, it will die. Death. And even the egg will die because it's changing into a new cell, a new body. The male and the female have to die. They sacrifice themselves for the creation of a new life. That's why male and female, they love the child so much, because they've sacrificed something to create that child. That's the way it is. And they invest a lot more energy. It's not over yet. It's not over. Remember, the child has to grow up. Male and the female look after it, put love in. They protect it. They create a bubble of energy around the child, etheric energy, a bubble of love. That is still sacrifice. The male and the female are sacrificing energy into the child for years and years. Ask any parents. So they are dying, losing energy, but it's worth it because the child is growing. You are continuing the cycle of life and death. And remember, in your body, cells are dying, but new cells are being born. It's happening internally anyway. Again, this is the Tantra. When the male and female making love, energy builds up. And ideally, all levels, spiritual, emotional, physical, all build up. But the cells inside your body, they're also doing this. They're vibrating, and then they divide. They sacrifice themselves to create two new ones. The original cell is dead, but now there's two new cells. It's the same process, making love. So again, this is the Taoist Tantra. If you circulate the energy, then inside energy builds up, but it will build up in the cells. Each cell builds up. The energy is circulating in the cell, and they will divide more. You will regenerate internally. That's the idea of longevity, immortality. And in theory, immortality is perfectly possible if you could harness this process in perfection. That's why it's deep meditation. The Tantra is very high level. People think Tantra is just this. Yeah, that's beginner level. High level is deep meditation, entirely internal, because you have to harness the spiritual energy. That's the one that controls it all. That's the willpower. Remember, to be a monk or a nun is willpower. Now, you don't have to be, the Taoists are not, but you still need willpower to harness the energy, control it. And the secret, there are exercises. The best guided study is Mantak Chia. But essentially the secret of controlling the internal energy, the hormonal fluid, one big secret is the control of the pelvic floor muscles. Contraction and relaxation of the pelvic floor. Kegel exercises. Both male and female have to do it. When you squeeze and relax the pelvic floor, it's a pump. You're squeezing the glands. You're activating the base hormone, the testosterone. Well, we all have it. We all need testosterone, by the way. Both, and estrogen. Slightly different, but we need a bit of both. But each one in balance. There is male and female. There are two different fluids here. And you need two different bodies, male and female, has to be, to create a sperm and an egg, two different things. Then they combine to make one. This again is mathematics. I've talked about it. Tantric Mathematics. I'll leave links below to that series. But it means the advanced meditation is the control of this process. It means you build up energy. You build up the chi in your body and you circulate it round and around. Remember, as it builds up, it builds up. It wants to explode. But you don't let it explode because that is the death. the release of the energy. You hold it in and circulate it round. So instead of releasing the energy to create a new life outside, you internalize the energy, circulate it to create a new life inside. So you don't give birth to another child, you give birth to an inner child inside yourself. Circulate it. And what you are doing is understanding and harnessing the cycle of life and death internally. Now, there are different levels. Like I said, physical level is the fluid, hormone. Energetic level, etheric level is the chi. That is the soul, the mind, the feeling, the enjoyment. You want that enjoyment built up. We love life. All enjoyment, all levels, happiness, love. That's perfectly innocent. A child. We're building up a child. Remember, we are regenerating into a child. The highest level of mastery of this, they say, is that you will have a build-up of sexual energy, but you are like a child. Perfectly innocent. There is no concept of male and female. It's just internal pleasure, innocence of a child. And it's perfectly spiritual. You're returning to the ultimate abstraction of this child. Returning back to spirit. And if you can circulate the energy, build it, you can reach higher into the spiritual mastery levels. That's the ultimate. From that point, you control life and death. You can build up enough energy that you create an etheric body. You give birth to yourself on a spiritual level. Now, when your physical body dies, you have an etheric body and you give birth to yourself. Now, I'm on an etheric level. I'm not dead. Physical body is dead, but my etheric body lives. One dies, one lives. Cycle of life and death, but evolving higher. That's the Taoist practice. That's what they talk about. And all this metaphysical, esoteric work is this. It's not Taoist. This is fundamental process of the universe. Interaction of lower energy and higher energy. Different levels of energy. Heavy energy, light energy. All good, and there's a process moving. And that process is life and death, the cycle of life and death. But remember, there's no death, it's all life. It's just movement. And every now and then, we have a big change. A big change is a death. So no big deal. And this is the idea of what I'm doing, talking about body efficiency training. This is efficiency. Circulate the energy, you become more efficient. And I'm not telling you what to do. Do whatever you like in life. But try to be more efficient internally, and you will get more out of life. You'll enjoy it more. You'll live longer. And you could build yourself a spiritual life so that even when the physical body dies, you still carry on enjoying life in spirit, loving it. It's the light side of the force, not the dark side. The dark side is where you get hung up on death. You want to end it. You want to destroy it. You want to finish. You want the explosion, the end of it all. And if you focus on that, you're always losing, because that is the loss of energy. You don't want to just lose it. You want to focus it even at the point of loss. That's creating a new life. Male and female focus the energy at the point of death, but you focus it into a new life, a new body, a baby. And that's the ultimate pleasure. So I hope this made sense. Again, this is a very big subject. I'll leave links below to Mantak Chia, who's written the most about this. All good stuff. So thank you so much for your time listening to me. Please do leave any questions or comments, and I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.